Assalamu alaikum, dear friends, how are you? All of us, each one of us have certain goals. We want to be something, someone, want to reach somewhere, and of course we want to achieve something. That is quite natural. But in many of the cases, we are unable to get what we want, unable to reach where we want to reach. And though our goal or target might not be that much complicated, not a sort of Herculean task at all. Despite all that, when there is no or little progress, so that is something quite annoying. And if we reflect upon the way we have been living our days and weeks and months, we come to understand that there wasn't any complicated or a major reason, but the lack of self control. It is the self discipline indeed which makes us a great person, which makes us an effective person, and which makes us do what is needed to do, which makes us avoid what is needed to avoid. Of course, it is self control, it is the self discipline. People with a good amount of self discipline in their life, they keep improving with the passage of time. Their life keep getting better and better with the passage of time. And they keep moving closer and closer to their destination, their desired destination, and their pre-decided goals. It is the self-control. If at all somebody is not good at this, that is called self-control. This person is not different from a vehicle, from a boat, or from an aeroplane. With the poor self control, with the poor control system, I think that if at all our goals are ambitious, if at all we are eager and desperate to be somewhere to achieve something, it is very, very important indeed to create the self discipline in ourselves. The better we are at this, the better we will be as far the performance is concerned. As far our achievements, our performances are concerned, the better we would be at that. So, for this reason, and keeping these things in view, I am going to talk about how to create the self discipline in ourselves. Of course, there are certain ways to do that, and let's begin it. The first part of this is set goals and set habits. Pre-decide the goals and pre-decide the habits which you want to adopt. How to do that? There are 4 points, there are 4 ways to do that. First of all, it is set clear and achievable goals. We need to set the goals which are clear on the one hand and achievable on the other hand. If at all there is a vague thinking about our goal, we will not be able to achieve it at all. If at all the goals are unachievable, unattainable, unrealistic one, then I think again it will be nothing but a wastage of time. So because there are people, most of the people, instead of having a clear goal, they are having a wish list. I want to achieve this and I want to achieve that. They have so many things with that they fail to achieve anything else at all. Their goals are such a big one, such a huge one, which are not practical, not pragmatic, not realistic one at all. So in that sense, they people keep wasting the time. The goal must be clear on the one hand. The goal must be achievable on the other hand. The second thing, that is break goals into small habits. Breaking a goal into small several habits, because let's say you want to be a writer, you want to be a skilled writer, you tell yourself that I am going to write one page on daily basis, first thing in the morning or in the early hours in the morning. So that way, if at all it becomes a habit and you are practicing so consistently, ultimately you will become a writer. So that is, break goals into smaller habits. So the third thing, which is create a schedule and stick to it. Having a schedule that this is something which I would be doing first of all, this is something which I would be doing after that, and this is something which I will be doing at third place. So this actually means create a schedule and stick to it. Then creating a schedule on the one hand, that this is the timetable, and then not only creating a schedule, rather sticking to it as well. So that is the third thing. The fourth and the last point is track progress and adjust habits. Tracking progress, to what extent you have succeeded in making a progress, and then of course adjusting the habits as well. So that is the part one. It is set goals and set habits. Then the second part of this is that, daily discipline. What is this daily discipline? It is wake up early and establish a morning routine. Waking up early and establishing a morning routine. The second thing is exercise regularly, no matter how small it is, no matter even if at all you are doing it from 10 to 15 minutes in the beginning, but it is very important that you are exercising. We are exercising regularly. The third point is eat a balanced diet and avoid unhealthy snacks. Eating a balanced diet on the one hand, avoiding the unhealthy snacks on the other hand. And then the fourth is practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness and meditation, even if at all we are doing it for 15 minutes, and even this is enough. 15 minutes in the morning, another 15 minutes in the evening. So that is practice mindfulness and meditation. We talked about the part one as set goals and habits, then the part two as the daily discipline, then the part three of it, that is self control strategies. What are the self control strategies? First of all, it is pause before acting on impulses. Pause before acting on impulses, not to start acting upon the impulse without a pause or instantly, rather pause. And the second is use the 10-second rule. The 10-second rule: wait 10 seconds before acting. Wait 10 seconds before acting. The third is practice delayed gratification. Practice delayed gratification. The fourth is, what is this delayed gratification? Whatever gratifies you, not to do it instantly, rather wait for some of the time, waiting for some of the time, then after doing it after 15 minutes, even 5 minutes. And this delayed gratification will of course will help us a lot, will help us tremendously in getting the self control. And then after this, you delayed the gratification. Now we have got an opportunity to think whether I should gratify me this way why or not, because whether it is good or bad. The fourth is remove distractions, like turning off the notifications or the other distractions. Remove the distractions. Now this third part was self control strategies. Now the next part, which is called the D part, the next part, the next stage, it is the mindset shift, because our mindset does play a decisive role, a very very important role indeed. So it is the mindset shift. Focus on progress, not perfection. Don't try to be perfect at all. Nobody can ever become a perfect person at all. But one thing is important. That one thing is called, call it improvement, or call it a progress. What is important is that improvement is important, and the progress is important. So the second is, it is view challenges as opportunities for growth. As for the hurdles, as for the challenges, as for the troubles, as for lack of resources, as for any other sort of handicap, as for the lack of cooperation by the people around, by certain people, do not take it as an obstacle, rather do not take it as a challenge, rather take it as an opportunity, for growth. Number 3, cultivate self awareness and self compassion. So there are two things: self awareness on the one hand and self compassion on the other hand. Self awareness says, that is the SWOT analysis. As strength for the strength, what are my strengths and what kind of opportunities I may get because of my strength. Then what are my weaknesses and what kind of threats are I may come across, I may have to face because of my weaknesses. What is my temperament, what are my resources, what type of people, if at all I've got certain people who are cooperative toward me, etc. So it is the cultivate self awareness. And then what is the self compassion? It mean as a result of in as a result of a failure, as a result of a failure or a setback, do not harshly criticize yourself at all. Rather treat yourself in a compassionate manner, the way we treat a very loved person. In the same manner, I think we need to practice the self compassion as well. So lastly, celebrate small victories. As for the major victory, major achievement is concerned, it does happen rarely and not frequently at all. So my dear friends and fellows, I think that even if at all there is a small victory, to encourage ourselves, to motivate ourselves, to keep ourselves motivated again, it is important to celebrate, to encourage, to appreciate, but not in a harmful manner at all, not to adopt any bad habit at all, but the way it is safe. Try to reward yourself. It was the part 4. That part 4 was about the mindset shift. Now there is a part 5. The part 5 is about accountability and sport. Accountability and sport. What is this, by the way? Share goals with a friend or a mentor. Sharing of the goal, tell a close friend of yours or a mentor of yours about the goal, and ask them to provide a constructive feedback. Then it is join a community or accountability group, either in person or online. Join join a community or accountability group. Now the third is, find find a role model or inspiration. Finding somebody who can keep inspiring us, who does inspire us, or a role model. And then it is reward yourself for reward yourself for milestones achieved. Not a destination. The destination cannot be reached at once at all. It will take time, but every milestone you have covered, you have walked, you ran, you jogged. So I think it should be, we need to reward ourselves for the milestones achieved. And that was the fifth part, which was about accountability and sport. Now there is a sixth part, and this simple sixth part is about simple reminders. What are these simple reminders? Discipline is a muscle that grow with practice. We have muscles. If we want our muscles to grow, we need to practice, we need to exercise. In the same manner, discipline is not any way different from a muscle. It will only grow if at all we exercise it, practice it. Then it is start small and build momentum. Starting small and gradually building the momentum. Then it is the consistency. The consistency is key. Then of course it is forgive yourself when you slip up. Instead of harshly criticizing yourself, it is better to forgive yourself when you slip up. It was the sixth part. The sixth part was about the simple reminders. Now there is a seventh one. It is the inspiration quotes. What are this inspiration quote? Discipline is a bridge between goal and goal and accomplishment. That is a very beautiful quote. Discipline is the bridge between goals and between the accomplishments, between your intention, between your plan, between your beginning and between your end, and between the end or the destination. There is one thing. That one thing is called discipline. The second beautiful and very inspiring quote is, self-discipline is the chief element in self-respect. If at all we want to be respected in our own eyes, so what is needed is that we need to have the self-discipline. In this way, we will be able to get the self-respect as well. Now there are certain key takeaways, and that one is cultivating self-discipline and self-control requires five things. What are these? First one, it is clear goals and clear habits. The second is daily discipline. The third is effective self-control strategies. The fourth is mindset shift. And the fifth is accountability and sport. Start with small steps, starting with the small steps, and gradually build your self-discipline and self-control. It is quite possible. People have done it. I think that if at all I and you, the rest of the people, if at all we ensure one thing, just one thing is needs to be ensured, and this one thing which needs to be ensured, it is the self-discipline or the self-control. Let me assure you that we will achieve all what we want to achieve, provided our goals are a bit realistic one, a bit attainable or achievable one. Rather, the goal should be smart goals, having it begin with the S, means specific. The next letter is M. It means measurable. That you want to achieve 100,000, you have succeeded in achieving 50,000. So that means measurable. Then it is A, mean attainable, attainable or achievable. Then it is or, mean it should be relevant, that the goal should bring the improvement in your life and the life of your loved ones, and even in the life of the general public. The last letter is the T, and the T means the time bound, that I want to achieve it by the end of 2024. So that is all from me today.